In today's episode, I am having a very interesting guest. I'm here with the Senior Manager of Marketing and Community for Smile. And Smile.io, if you want to head to the URL, is the world's largest loyalty platform, which is, essentially provides everybody out there who wants to, I guess, get more loyal customers with an easy to use reward program or reward to use programs that can help scaling e-commerce brands in particular to transform their loyalty and user base into loyal customers and into actually repeat purchases. So Tim, I'm pleased to have you on the show. So welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Very good. So maybe in your own words, what is Smile all about?
Yeah, so you summed it up pretty succinctly there. So Smile is the world's largest loyalty platform for scaling e-commerce brands. And really, we help businesses that are looking to build a brand community around their customer bases to do that by allowing their customers to join, engage, and then share the community that they've built around their brand. With a fully branded, fully integrated loyalty program that is built right into their website. There's a little long-term panel that customers engage with, and they can engage with them on social. They can get points for birthdays. They can send referrals. They can have a VIP program. You can really have it be as complex or as simple as you want, and whatever fits your brand, you can make it fully beautifully branded so it fits seamlessly with the rest of your brand aesthetic.
Got you. Obviously, let us learn a little bit more about the company. Like, what would you say characterizes Smile a little bit? Like, maybe, how long have you guys been around? You mentioned already you're working with e-commerce primarily. Maybe something, you could share about Smile.
Sure. So we've been around for as Smile.io for what is it, 5 years now. It's with 2020, time is just like a black hole now. But previously to being called Smile, we were called Sweet Tooth Rewards, and we transitioned to the Smile brand a few years ago. But we have roughly 60,000 customers across the globe, all on Shopify, BigCommerce, or Wix. So they and also Shopify Plus. So they span kind of the full gambit of brands that are brand new that have just kind of launched their store, and also very large enterprise size brands that are using Smile to build their loyalty. Smile has our own employees are across the globe as well. We have our headquarters is in Canada, in Kitchener, about an hour from Toronto, but we have roughly half the company is not located in our headquarters city, and we have employees all across the entire globe, as well as our customers.
Very cool. You mentioned already that the companies that are using Smile can range from an e-commerce shop that is just starting to an established enterprise brand. Is there like within e-commerce certain, I don't know, verticals, or what would be a typical Smile client?
Typically, we see where loyalty, not just Smile, but where loyalty typically works the best is brands where customers are more likely to be able to make repeat purchases, especially in verticals like consumables, like makeup, like food and beverage, coffee. There's a lot of brands using Smile that are coffee brands, just because of the consumable nature, and that they're just their customers are already primed already to want to make those repeat purchases. And then loyalty just helps make sure that those repeat purchases are coming from the same brand again and again and not going somewhere else.
Very cool. You mentioned obviously already a little bit that you guys are sitting on Shopify, BigCommerce, like all those bigger platforms. What would you say is the typical journey? Somebody getting started with Smile, is that through those marketplaces, or is there a typical another completely other journey that those companies would be using to get started?
As far as the companies getting started, typically we do see them launching on Shopify. That's probably the main avenue, and then also Wix as well. We just launched a Smile app on Wix this past summer, and there's a growing number of merchants starting on Wix. We also see some movement from customers moving from BigCommerce to Shopify, Shopify to BigCommerce, and Wix as well, and moving between them as they grow and scale. So we typically do see customers launch on all three platforms, or come to Smile as already established businesses on all three platforms.
Very good. I'm curious then, especially when you, as a marketer, when you look at that sort of focus on the those marketplaces. What role does the website actually play? Like, what role does Smile.io play in terms of client acquisition?
So a lot of the information about Smile is based on our website. You can only have so much information in an app listing. You can have videos and links to demo stores and images and all that, but a lot of the information about how Smile, the nitty gritty stuff is on the main Smile website, as well as on our blog. We have a lot of information about scaling loyalty and how to use loyalty programs on the blog.smile.io as well. So it's kind of, there's a nice handoff that goes actually both ways. So customers can come to, if they discover smile.io first, where we have great SEO, or on the blog we have great SEO, they can move between the two of those. And then when they want to install, they can do that through the website that then connects them right to the app marketplace, where they would actually do the installation with their e-commerce platform.
Very cool. Speaking about the website, obviously we talk a lot about websites in the PathMonk podcast. Yeah. I'm curious, and the marketers are always very critical with their own pages. I'm curious, like, where do you see the strength of the website for Smile.io? Is it the ability to convert somebody's on the page? Is it, you know, the quality of the conversions you're getting? Is it something completely different? Like, where do you see the strength of the website?
I think the biggest strength of the website is being able to showcase our client base. We have a number of case studies that are available, and then customer testimonials as well. And I think that's a big part of it. We have a very large client base, and it's important for customers to see that we have customers that have the same profile as them. We have those large enterprise customers. We have brand new shops as well. So being able to demonstrate Smile's usability for all those different types of platforms is important. And that's something that I would say the website does that it's much harder to communicate through an app listing.
Makes complete sense. On the flip side, where do you see room for improvement? Is it the conversion rates? Is it, you know, where do you see room for improvement? Because a website is obviously an ever evolving ecosystem. Yep. Like where do you see room for improvement?
I think the nature of any app listing is really having that connection between tracking and the cookies and actual attribution between the website and the app listings. Depending on what the marketplace is, some features are available, some aren't. So I would say probably the best place to improve is always increasing attribution. I mean, any marketer is always going to say that they want more and better attribution. So it's kind of a generic answer, but I think it holds true for our case as well as many others.
Makes sense. Very good. Let's switch gears a little bit. Coming back to the product, right? For everybody who's listening in, what would you say is the main competitive advantage when somebody's going with Smile over maybe other solutions?
I would definitely say it's the simplicity. You can literally go from not having a loyalty platform at all to having a fully branded, fully customized and optimized one in a matter of minutes. You can have, it's a one-click integration with your store. You can integrate Smile with all of the other apps you're already using in just a couple clicks. So the simplicity of it is really, I think, the biggest game changer. You don't need to be able to code. You don't need a developer on staff. And you can make a really highly optimized, beautifully branded loyalty program literally in a few minutes.
Very, very cool. Great. Awesome. We always like to ask, obviously, with companies like yourself that scale a lot, is there any sort of, does sales even still exist? Is this all product-led growth? Like, what is the trajectory that you guys are on?
I would certainly say product-led growth. Especially with Smile, we have a free plan. And so customers can install that for free and poke around at the different features that they want to see on the free plan. And then when they're ready to upgrade, if there's features that they want to upgrade to, they can do that. So having that product-led growth really is important, especially when we have a free plan. That freemium model has to be product driven. Especially when you have tens of thousands of customers, having like a one-to-one sales process just bogs everything down and just doesn't make sense. So certainly product-led growth. I've got Wes's book here, and I'm part of a few of the different Slack communities about product-led growth, and it's certainly something that's of interest.
Very cool. I was actually about to ask, learning a little bit more about how you educate yourself. You brought up the Slack, your Slack groups there. What else? Where do you typically learn? Where do you consume content in order to educate yourself further?
I'd certainly say most of it is online through different blogs, LinkedIn. There's obviously different, I don't really call them influencers, but there's the LinkedIn influencers that have a lot of great content.
Mhm.
I've poked around with Clubhouse a little bit. I'm still trying to get a hang of getting the most value out of it. But it seems like a lot of content is moving that way, especially in the remote world that we're in now. We're not going to really be going to conferences anytime soon to learn anything from that. So anything that I can do virtually, I'm certainly doing. And I'm a big reader. I've got a shelf full of books, whether it's work, management, marketing related, or fiction. So I'm a very big reader. So that's definitely one as well.
Very cool. Since we're slowly coming to an end of the interview already, I would love to jump into our rapid fire questions. Are you ready for
Sure,
those?
definitely.
What's the last book that you read?
The last book that I read was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Very good. Very good. What's one single thing that the company is focused on the most at the moment?
I would say merchant delight and community.
Mhm. If there would be no boundaries in technology, what's the one thing that you want to have fixed for the company today?
Ooh, that's a good one. We just launched translations in 5 different languages. So if we could just instantly have translations in every single language, that would be amazing.
Very good. What's the last thing that kept you awake at night about the company?
Probably, kept me awake at night. Probably just having too many things that are going, like big projects to work on, and figuring out which is the most important, because they all seem so good.
Yeah, very good. And the very last question would be, if today would be your first day, you're joining Smile, right? Today's your first day in joining the office.
Yeah.
What's the one advice that you would give yourself?
I would say to learn as much as possible. So I started at Smile on the content side, and so I definitely started doing that right away. But learning as much as I can about the product from our customers, I think, would be the first thing that I would tell myself.
Very cool. Tim, I really appreciate that you were part of Pathmark Presents with us today. I want to give you the very last word. If somebody would be forgetting everything that we discussed about Smile, what's the one thing that they should remember about the company?
They should remember that they can build a loyalty program for free in minutes.
Very good. Thanks for being part of the show.
No problem. Thank you.